Hello everyone, Anime Fiend here. In today's video, we are diving deep into Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world. On the surface, it looks like just another Isekai series. A down on his luck protagonist dies, gets transported to a fantasy world, and is tasked with defeating the Demon King. But Konosuba quickly sets itself apart from the rest, not by being more epic or dramatic, but by embracing chaos, comedy, and failure in ways most Isekai would never dare. In most isekai, the hero's death is dramatic. Maybe they're killed by a truck, betrayed, or sacrificed in some way. Kazuma Sato's death, however, is played purely for comedy. A shut-in gamer who rarely leaves his house, Kazuma dies of shock while trying to heroically push someone out of the way of a slow-moving tractor. When he wakes up, he meets Aqua, a goddess who ridicules him mercilessly for his embarrassing end. Kazuma is then given a choice: peacefully go to heaven, or be reincarnated into a fantasy world with one item of his choosing. In a fit of petty rage at Aqua, Kazuma drags her down with him, and that's where the adventure begins. This opening is important because it immediately signals the difference in tone. While other isekai treat the premise of a change for wish fulfillment, Konosuba treats it as a setup for a joke. Unlike heroes who arrive in another world empowered, Kazuma and Aqua are painfully average. They don't leap into the grand quest or instantly defeat monsters. Instead, they spend months doing grunt work and scraping by just to cover rent and food. And when they do take real quest, failure is almost guaranteed. Missions are bungled, and victories often come at an absurd price. Even after training and gaining skills, the group struggles constantly. This constant incompetence is not only hilarious, but also relatable. Most of us wouldn't suddenly become legendary warriors if thrown into a fantasy world. The adventure card system is another clever twist. It tracks stats, abilities, and serves as both ID and progression system. But unlike most RPG-inspired anime, where characters instantly unlock skills, in Konosuba you have to be taught by someone who already knows the ability. This makes growth feel clumsy, inconvenient, and realistic in a way that fits the show's comedic tone. For Kazuma, this means he doesn't stick to one class archetype. Instead, he cobbles together a versatile but odd mix of skills: stealing, crafting, and cunning tricks, rather than flashy powers. Now let's talk about the heart of the series, Kazuma's adventuring party. What makes them unforgettable is that by most standards, they're terrible. Kazuma, smart and resourceful, but lazy and petty. His greatest strength is not magic or combat, but his ability to think outside the box and exploit loopholes. Aqua, a goddess with incredible healing and purification magic, yet cursed with low intelligence and atrocious luck. She wastes money, gets drunk, and causes more problems than she solves, earning the infamous title Useless Goddess. Megumin, a prodigy from the Crimson Demon clan, despite having huge magical potential, she refuses to learn anything but explosion magic, which she can only cast once a day before collapsing. Darkness, a crusader noble who should be the group's frontline tank, except she can't hit anything with her sword. Add in her extreme masochism, and every battle turns into an awkward spectacle. This group shouldn't work by all logic. They should fail every quest, yet somehow, through dumb luck and Kazuma's cunning, they scrape by. Their incompetence is what makes them so endearing. Another way Konosuba flips expectations is with the handling of the Demon King and his generals. Instead of an overwhelming evil presence looming over the story, the generals are treated almost like guest stars in a comedy. Beldia, the honorable Dullahan, undone by Megumin's constant explosion. Whis, the kind-hearted leech who gives up her villain role to run a shop in town. Vanir, a sarcastic archdemon who actually becomes Whiz's business partner. Hans, a slime monster trying to poison a hot spring town. Sylvia, a chimera introduced in the Legend of Crimson movie. Wolbach, the dark goddess who gave Megumin her obsession with explosive magic. These enemies are strong, but their encounters often spiral into ridiculous comedy. Some even end up befriending Kazuma's party instead of becoming recurring threats. One of the most unique aspects of Konosuba is that their actions actually have consequences. In most fantasy series, the heroes destroy property and unleash magic with little to no fallout. Here, Kazuma and his friends regularly deal with lawsuits, fines, or even prison time because of the chaos they caused. For example, after dealing with the destroyer, its teleported cord explodes near a noble's mansion, leading to Kazuma being put on trial for terrorism. Another time, Megumin's reckless explosions forced the group to spend all their reward money repairing damages to the city. This constant accountability grounds the comedy and gives the world a surprising sense of realism. Konosuba also expands beyond standard RPG tropes by introducing unique beings tied to nature itself, like the Winter Shogun and the Spirit of the Storms. These creatures are rare, powerful, and add to the world's unpredictability. They're not tied to the Demon King's army, but instead reflect the idea that this world has dangers beyond the main quest. At its core, Konosuba succeeds because it doesn't take itself too seriously. Where other isekai lean into power fantasies, Konosuba embraces imperfection, reminding us that adventures aren't always glorious. They're messy, awkward, and sometimes humiliating. The comedy lands because the characters are consistent in their flaws. Kazuma's pettiness, Aqua's uselessness, Megumin's obsessions, Darkness's masochism never go away. Instead of becoming perfect heroes, they stay the same dysfunctional party, just barely improving enough to survive. In the end, Konosuba isn't just about saving the world. It's about stumbling through it with a group of hopeless misfits. It takes every isekai cliché and twists it into comedy gold. From Kazuma's humiliating death to Aqua's wasted potential, to Megumin blowing herself up daily, to Darkness's enjoying every hit she takes, every moment works because the series dares to be different. It's a parody, but also a love story to the genre. By making failure funnier than success, Konosuba carved out a unique place in anime. So if you're looking for an isekai that doesn't try to be grand or inspiring, but instead makes you laugh at every misstep, Konosuba is the perfect example of how turning cliches upside down can create something unforgettable. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comment section. What's your favorite Konosuba moment? I'll see you in the next video.